Welcome back to the Ross Bolin podcast, presented by Bolin Media. I am your host, Ross Bolin, back today with Comrade Kade Orris.
Going with Comrade today. No longer captain.
Got to switch it up.
Got to switch it up.
It's a new week.
Am I from Mother Russia?
No, I was a little concerned with like the potential communist sound to that label.
That's kind of what my brain went to initially.
When I Googled it, though, it says a companion who shares one's activities or is a fellow member of an organization. So it's perfect.
Okay, that fits. I feel like the Russians kind of took it and gave it like a negative connotation.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did back in Mother Russia. They really did.
They really did.
How you doing, Kade?
Doing pretty good. Woke up early this morning and went and worked out, did legs today.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, legs are pretty sore.
Morning gym sesh? How long has it been since you did that?
It's been a really long time.
Months and months?
Yeah. Have been able to sleep real well these past couple of days because I got some bug bites like around my ankles, and it just keeps me up and like I just.
What do you mean bug bites?
Like, you know how...
What kind of bugs?
Oh, I have no idea what kind of bugs they are.
Like mosquito bites?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know, like, the different type of bug bites. It's just, like, I have a bite or assuming a bite.
Here's what I'm asking, Kade.
Okay.
Is it possible that it's scabies?
On my ankles?
I don't know, man.
I thought you
Who
just
knows
get
where they
scabies
infiltrate? Where they
on your
start?
balls.
No, you get...
or, like... In your groin region.
You get them in like your underarm?
Okay.
Anything going on there for you?
No.
Okay, you're good probably.
No, because like I went on like I guess like a friend date on Sunday. I was real bad on Sunday morning, just like mentally. I wasn't doing great. I'm like, I need to go out and like talk to someone. So
I feel you.
Went on a little friend date on Sunday.
I was in the same place, ironically, which we'll get to, but go ahead.
And I came back from it, and yeah, my ankles were just like covered in bug bites. I don't know.
The mosquitoes right now are god awful because we've had so much rain the past couple months, and as anybody who knows mosquitoes is aware, the more moisture and heat combined, the more mosquitoes. They love that shit because they find like these little puddles, and they breed. They just go fucking crazy, banging each other in there.
Just
mosquitoes everywhere. In Houston, this was always a huge problem.
Yeah.
Like terrible mosquito season in Houston. But this in Austin, right, what is it, May 22nd? This is a bad start.
Yeah.
This does not bode well for summer.
No, I'm not looking forward to it.
I was in my backyard with my son yesterday, and I was like, dude, we got to go in. We can't even be out.
No,
I could visibly see the mosquitoes,
Yeah,
swarming.
It's that, and with the heat, too. Like,
oh, God.
Like, mid-90s already. In May, it's like it's getting hot out there.
You got to get some fucking like some ointment for those ankles.
Well,
something.
yeah, I bought some cortisone cream, which I guess it's like helps prevent or like soothes like itches or whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't do dick. It doesn't like work at all. The
God.
one I bought, and then I've also seen that like if you put ice on it, it helps, and it's done all right. Like
it just numbs you temporarily.
Yeah, exactly, that's what it does. So like. I just do it at night enough to like where
so you can
it's
get
numb,
to sleep,
and I can get to sleep,
and then you wake up.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
And then it's rough. So like I woke up at like 6 a.m. I'm like, I can't go back to sleep now. So I just went and worked out.
And the lack of sleep, did it contribute to your? Well, when was this? The friend date? That was Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Okay. So the bug bites didn't exist prior. They didn't cause your mental collapse.
No, that was other things. But we're all good now.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, had therapy on Monday too, so we love that.
I'll say this also: it's week 2 of the Bolin Media big screen TV being broken, so I can't force the entire office to watch Pat McAfee on repeat, and I feel like morale has plummeted. You don't think that could have something to... You miss Pat? You miss
I can't say I do.
You miss AJ Hawk?
I feel like my morale has been boosted because of it. So I'm not hearing Pat yell at me.
God knows how low you would be if we'd been watching Pat this past 2 weeks, too. It would have fucking destroyed you, dude.
Although I will say it has been low still because Dan isn't here. He's on a little vacay.
Yeah, one less of us, which makes
so it's
a big
just been
difference.
me the past 2 days.
I know.
Just solo dolo.
I know. This is my first day in the office this week, which I will explain now. I want to start today's show with some birth control for all the young people listening who think it's fun to have unprotected sex, just sticking it in wherever you please without concern for consequences, because there are, Kade, consequences.
Oh, I'm sure there are. I'm ready to hear them.
You could make a baby.
That's one of the consequences.
That's the thing you don't really always think about when you're young and horny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that a baby could be the end result of your horniness. My wife was in Miami for a work event from this past Friday afternoon through Monday evening, okay? So I was solo with my 15-month-old son, RJ. That's a year and 3 months, kid. This kid is now a full-blown toddler, no longer a baby.
Okay.
So I used
what are the stages of the kid?
Or newborn, infant, baby, toddler.
Okay.
I think after a year, you're technically a toddler, but the toddler stage really begins when you start to notice that they start to throw tantrums. They start to their personality starts to come out more. So
that's why people say like, "Oh, you're acting like a little toddler when you're throwing like tantrums."
When you throw a fit.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what toddlers do. I'd say that's the main defining characteristic of a toddler.
Okay.
If they freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
Once they start doing that, baby stage over, bad times ahead.
Yeah. Then how long does this like toddler stage last?
A while.
A while? Okay, like a couple years. Okay. And then like after that, like what? Like
then they're a little
5,
kid.
They're a little like a child kid.
Yeah. Then they become a little kid / child.
And then
a young person.
Then a teen.
Young person, teen.
And then
know,
adult. I guess
something in between, and then eventually in their 30s, an adult.
Yeah.
That's if they follow my personal plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I used to talk about how chill RJ is, how easy of a baby he was. And he was. He's super chill. He's not chill anymore. Chill is not the word I would use to describe him at all. He's a maniac. He's running around like a nut all the time. He's just constantly trying to hurt and kill himself in every possible. Like he wants to climb the stairs. He wants to throw himself off the couch. He wants to see what happens if he gets on his little child bicycle, but leans all the way forward so that it flips over. He everything he does is dangerous. And
just likes to live life on the edge.
He does. He's has no concept for pain or self-control. He'll just go to the freezer and hold on to the rail of the handle of the freezer trying to open it and scream for a popsicle for 6 hours. That'll be his whole day.
Sounds like a productive day.
And I'm like, dude, buddy, we can't have any more popsicles. You've already had a popsicle. We're trying to, give him a decent diet.
Yeah, I don't want a chubby toddler.
Fucking loses his mind.
Yeah.
Just hates it. Anyway, point being, he's no longer easy to care for. It's exhausting. And I just want to preface all of this by saying he is the light of my life, and parenting is by far and away the most redeeming thing I have ever done. But it is also the most challenging thing I have ever done. And I will now tell you a story to back that up. So this is the first time my wife has been away from RJ for more than half a day. She's had work events in town before or whatever where I got to take care of him for 6-7 hours, stuff like that. But never overnight. This is the first time I've taken care of RJ overnight. And obviously leading up to it, I was like, this is going to be challenging. So I was in Houston for an Astros game. And ironically, another one of my wife's work events a few weeks ago. And I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, do you want to come up and stay with me while my wife is gone so that I'm not just solo with this kid? Because frankly, just to be transparent, one of the reasons I'm not super used to being with him alone, and I get really bad anxiety.
Because you're just worried, the worst possible thing could happen.
Yeah, I think. And it just I think it's tied to my driving anxiety, and I'm like, what if something happened and I needed to get him somewhere? I don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm working on it in therapy. But to circumvent this, my mom loves spending time with him and with me, and it's just it's so fucking weird because just even having somebody there, even if they're not doing anything, it could be, let's say the pest control guy could show up to my house, and that alleviates my anxiety. Just someone else being there. They don't have to take care of the kid. Yeah. They just need to be in the general vicinity.
You could hire a TaskRabbit.
I really could. I really could. That would solve the problem. But my mom is, it's a much more special time with her than it would be with a random TaskRabbit or a pest control guy. So my mom comes up. She stays with me Friday night through Monday morning. So every night that I'm there solo with the kid, she is there. And then I had my mother-in-law come over Saturday around lunch and also Sunday and Monday during the day and spend like the whole day with us. So I had a ton of help. Both grandmas, dual grandmas, are also there helping me with this kid. And
got a lot of experience with those two.
Between the two of them, yes.
That's what you want. That veteran leadership.
They've raised children. Exactly. That's what I was hoping for, right? I bring it in the vets. And everything went really well, except for at night, when it did not go really well. It went the opposite of really well. So Friday night, the first night, I get him down to sleep. You know, he has like a bedtime or whatever.
You put him down for sleep a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I've done that many, many times. Got a lot of experience doing that. Really, honestly, I have a lot of experience doing everything with him except for breastfeeding.
Right?
Because I can't.
No.
I don't have the parts. And he's still breastfeeding, so like, you know, that was a problem. And then my wife generally takes care of things at night. I'll put him down to sleep, but like if he wakes up in the middle of the night or whatever, she goes and comforts him, feeds him, sometimes sleeps in there with him, which I'll get to. So that part's not me because, as I've stated, and as I will state repeatedly in the next several minutes, I'm good at all this stuff. Kind of naturally, but also because I work at it and I care a lot and I want to be a good dad. But if you take away my sleep, I'm worthless. I mean, my shit crashes so fast, dude. Like, I become fucking dead to the world if I don't sleep. And I don't like this about me. And I know some people listening that are freaks that can handle going on like weird Adderall binges and sleeping for only like 3 hours over the course of a weekend are like, what a pussy. And maybe I am, but I'm admitting it. I'm saying straight up, when I lose sleep, everything else falls apart. And so the first night I get him to sleep. He wakes up a couple hours later. I go in, I get him back to sleep. It's probably 11:30. I'm like, all right, sick. I'm gonna go to bed because I don't know how the rest of this night's gonna go. I go to sleep. 1:30, he wakes back up. I go in there, I get him back to sleep. 3 a.m., he wakes back up. I go in there, I don't get him back to sleep. He won't let me leave the room. He's flipping out. He's yelling at me because he's like, I want titties. And I'm like, I don't have them. And I try to put him down probably 9 times over the course of the next couple hours. And then eventually at 5 a.m., I was like, fuck it. I guess I have to sleep in here, like on the ground with him.
Yeah.
And so I did the setup in the room now is he's got his crib. And then next to the crib, there is what is called a human dog bed.
That's like what it's actually...
It's what it's actually called.
Okay.
Now, the setup in there, it used to be this shitty little cot that this is what we put in there so that if my wife has to sleep in there with him, she's got a little cot. Mm-hmm. But it's shitty, as I said. So for Mother's Day, I bought this human dog bed, which frankly, they've got to come up with a better name for it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what it's like giving your wife and the mother of your children a human dog bed for Mother's Day until you've done it. And I feel like if the label was something different, if the name of this thing was different, it would have gone over better than it did. Regardless, it is awesome. It has like a memory. You know what a dog, like this little dog bed over here in the corner that Bella's passed the fuck out in. Imagine that, except like 20 times larger. Maybe not 20. Maybe like...
It could fit a normal-sized human in it.
You and I don't quite fit.
Oh, okay.
My wife fits easy. And it's got a memory foam bottom, huge plush, like surrounding. It's the perfect thing for a nap. That's what it's really for. Humans to take extremely cozy naps. Humans that are smaller than you and I. Again, I would note. You probably need to be under 6 feet for this thing to be actually your size. But maybe they have larger ones. I don't know. That's not the point. The point is, thank God I upgraded to this human dog bed because that's what I ended up laying in with him. But we didn't really sleep. And so basically the point is I was essentially in his room from like 1:30 in the morning through the rest of the night almost, like with maybe 30 minutes exception. It sucked. And there's also a recliner in there, like a rocking chair recliner thing. I couldn't figure out how to recline it because, with the recliner, typically the lever is on the side, right?
Yeah. Or was it like inside?
It was in between. In between the cushion and the fucking armrest. And I didn't know that. I've never experienced a recliner like that. Now, I've been using this thing for 4 years. Never thought to ask where the handle was. And that was a mistake.
But you knew it reclined.
I knew it reclined. I just didn't know how. So I was sitting there like, I tried every possible. I was like pulling on the bottom of it with my son. He's like staring at me like, what the fuck are you doing? It was a total disaster. The first night, total disaster. So the next morning, I am just a ghost, dude. Like, my mom's already there. And, she's helping out with the kid in the morning. And then my mother-in-law shows up. And I was like, all right, grandmas, peace. Daddy's got to go get some sleep. I am in a bad, bad way. And I don't mean just like, oh, I was really tired. Like, I was like, I could feel like the depression creeping in. I don't know if that's tied to me like feeling like a failure for the way the night went or what. But generally, no sleep equals bad mental health for me. And that's where I was at. I was like, oh my God. And just keeping in mind, I've got to do 2 more of these nights. I was like, I got to go get this fucking sleep. So I went and took like a 2-hour nap. I felt a little bit better. And then later that day around like 5 p.m., I started to feel kind of human again, like a real boy.
Yeah.
And then, the next night arrives. And I'm like, all day, I'm like praying basically like, please, God, let this child sleep.
You're just dreading.
I can't do it again.
Yeah.
But I come a little more prepared that night. I'm like, all right, so he's clearly upset that my wife's titties aren't here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to just bring like double bottles of milk.
Just strapped with milk.
I'm coming in with the milk, dude. I forgot to note, he also had hand, foot, and mouth disease again at the end of last week. Again, second time in as many months. Really fucking great. So he probably wasn't feeling that good either Friday night. Yeah. On top of that, he's 1 and 3 months old. He's hitting growth spurts like constantly. On top of that, it's the first time being away from his mom. So it was pretty much the perfect storm of shittiness for me.
Perfect shit storm, yeah.
Perfect shit storm for me to try to be getting him to sleep. So the second night, I come armed with milk. He still wakes up the same amount of times, like 11, 1:30, 3, but he's letting me put him back down and put him in his bed and staying asleep because I'm just pumping him full of milk. His diaper the next morning weighed like 10 pounds.
Oh, no.
He probably peed 20 times in his sleep. But we were both better off on Saturday. Now, I still didn't feel good on Saturday. I was still like, Jesus, God, make it stop, please. This is hell. I feel so fucking awful. And with every passing minute, I gained more respect for my wife because for really 2 straight years now, frankly, she's been like sleep deprived, taking care of our kids at night. And I've always had an appreciation for that, but my appreciation for it is probably like tripled based on just how shitty it made me feel so quickly. I was just like, we're talking about a couple of days here. And I was in the fucking gutter, dude. Like,
you were going through it.
I was really.
And she does it on a nightly basis.
Yeah, this is just her regular life.
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, I might die. I could die right now. Like, that's how bad I felt. So Saturday, like I said, it goes a little bit better Saturday night. And we have like a solid little Sunday, Sunday night, I'm so confident going in.
You're like, I got this.
I was like,
got two nights under your belt.
Got 2 nights under my belt. This is the last night. I can do this. Repeat of Friday night occurs. And somehow it's worse. Like this time.
Did you have the milk too?
I had the milk. He wouldn't drink it. He was like, fuck you and your tricks, old man. Like, I threw the kitchen sink at this thing and nothing worked, man. Like nothing. And anybody who's a parent listening knows there's like a ton of different like tricks you try to pull to get your kid to sleep, like rocking them standing up, rocking them facing away from you, rocking them in the rocking chair, like singing them a song, doing the shh, doing all this different shit. None of it. And he's just so pissed off. Like I'm finally like, fuck. I lay him down in the human dog bed with me. And he just sits up and he's just screaming. It's like 4 a.m, dude. And I was just like, I just broke. So I started crying. And then he's looking at me like,
like, what are you crying about?
What the fuck's wrong with you, man? I'm the one getting screwed here. There's no titties. And I was just like, I also miss titties. And it was just this We just cried
You
together.
just bonded over
We bonded
missing
over our
titties.
misery, bro. Like in this bed, in this human dog bed, and finally I went to sleep. You know, I probably slept for, I'd say, maybe 3 hours Friday night total, maybe 5 hours Saturday night, and then maybe 3 hours Sunday night. So like Monday, I was a corpse. So I didn't even come to work. I had to survive. I was like, I just got to survive the rest of this day. She'll be home this evening, and then everything can go back to normal. And it was humbling. It was a humbling experience. And this is like one of the things that occurred to me while I was doing it. Like, shout out to single parents, because I don't know how y'all do it. I could not do it. I don't think, I was bitching to one of my friends about this, and they were like, damn, so you really couldn't do this alone, huh? And I was like, fuck no, absolutely not. It's too much, man. Like, and this was just one kid. My stepdaughter was at her dad's. I didn't even have the other kid. If I had both kids, maybe I wouldn't even be here right now. I'd be in a mental ward. It was hell. But like everything else during the day, it's great. I know how to feed him. I know how to bathe him. I know how to clean him. I know how to change diapers. I know how to dress him. I know how to get him to sleep. All of the things. But when it comes to the nighttime sleeping, I have to have the sleep, kid. I have to have it.
Need the sleep, yeah.
It's not an option for me. It's a requirement. And the second that got taken away, I fucking fell apart, dude. I was a disaster. And today, I'm like, all right, I'm back to like 80%. Like, I feel good enough to like do shows. And yeah, anyway, shout out to my mom and my mother-in-law, because without them, it'd probably just be me and RJ wandering the streets right now. We'd probably be in like El Paso or something, like, you know,
Yeah. Well,
panhandling.
hey, you got through it. You survived.
I did survive.
That's all you can ask for.
I did survive, and I got a whole new fresh boat of things to discuss in therapy this week, which is good.
Love that.
Yeah.
Probably still gonna have unprotected sex though. I don't think it scared me enough. I don't think it
What,
scared me
dude?
straight.
I don't know how to scare you straight then, man. I'm telling you. It's like, it's one of the things about parenting that before it, you know it's going to be hard. You know there's going to be challenges. You know it's going to change you. You know all these things going in because people have told you time and again. But the one thing you truly cannot fathom until it's occurring is like the sleep, the change in your sleep and your schedule. Because like, I'm sure for you being 26, there are nights where you just stay up a little later because fuck it.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm just gonna watch one more episode.
Right. We got some bug bites. I can't sleep anyway. So.
Yeah, sure. But there's circumstances where like you stay up till 1, you stay up till 2. Weekends, you stay out till the bar closes, shit like that, and it's fine. You can recover.
Right.
Because you can just sleep in a little bit more the next day. You can counter the hours lost with other hours. Not a thing. Not a thing with kids. If you stay up later, you pay for it. And if you don't sleep, my God, you pay for it. And I paid for it. I paid a hefty price. And I feel like I had gotten my parenting confidence up really high. I was really proud of myself and how well I've done and how well I've adjusted, how well I prepared for it. And then this weekend took all that away. And now my self-esteem is in the toilet. I think I suck. And it'll take me some time to build it back.
I mean,
I got owned.
Yeah, but you learned from it, and you're gonna be better next time.
Yeah, what I learned from it is to never let my wife leave the city.
She can never leave.
She can never leave again. Not till he's 5.
Once he becomes like a child.
Yeah, once he's a small boy. Honestly, it probably will get easier when he's not breastfeeding, because I think that played a large part. Also, the hand, foot, and mouth disease didn't help, which if the school could just maybe find a way to stop sending that home with the kid would be so sick. That'd be so tight. I'd pay extra money if they could find a way to make that happen. But anyway, point being, it was a rough weekend. Didn't get to do all the normal dad shit I do, like, mow the lawn, pump iron. I didn't work out for 4 days straight. I couldn't work out. When was I going to work out? What energy did I have to work out? I wasn't fucking sleeping, so I couldn't work out. And working out is the other thing that keeps the wheels on the bus for me, dude.
You lost your streak.
I
lost your Fitbod streak.
I lost my Fitbod streak. Devastating. A devastating blow with the new gym. I had so much momentum going, dude. So much momentum, and all of it just came to a screeching halt and then really exploded in a fiery disaster. So anyway, I'm back. I'm here. I worked out yesterday.
Love that.
Felt good. And I'm just gonna I'm just gonna have to find a way to never let my wife leave me alone with that child ever again, because I'll be scarred for life from that. Just this three nights, dude. 3 nights with a 1-year-old that I fucking broke. Oh man. Anyway, we've got some other fun stuff to talk about today. It's going to be a good show. But first, you ever been in a wedding and seen one dude who was so well dressed that it made you feel like you needed to get your shit together? It happens to the best of us. When I was younger, I dressed like an absolute bum, looked like a total doofus at almost all times, especially at formal events when I had to wear a suit, because I had no idea how to buy a good suit, how to use a tailor, how to do anything really. I was ignorant. But now I know where to go when I want to look my best. Indochino. Today's episode is brought to you by Indochino. Weddings are all about the bride and groom, but they're a chance to look your best too. With a fully custom suit from Indochino, you'll walk into wedding season looking like $1,000,000, even though they start at just $4.99. It's easier than ever to be the best dressed with Indochino. Order your custom suits now and be ready for wedding season. I can tell you personally, the Indochino experience, it's pretty awesome. Whether you go to one of their showrooms in person and get measured up by their crew, or you do it from home and order online. I've done both. Both work. Both are great. I went to the Indochino in Austin my first time, but for my most recent order, I measured myself at home, shopped strictly online, and the end result is still the best custom clothing experience I have ever had. If you need a suit, if you need a jacket, if you need a shirt, if you need pants, Indochino has them, and they're made just for you. Look your best this wedding season at the table or on the dance floor when you wear Indochino. Go to Indochino.com today and use code RBP to get 10% off any purchase of $3.99 or more. That's INDOCHINO.com, promo code RBP, Indochino.com, code RBP. I've got some bad news, Kade.
Oh, no, more bad news?
Yeah. So the annual gathering of the Kyles took place in Kyle, Texas, this past Saturday. And for the uninitiated, the gathering of the Kyles is when a bunch of people named Kyle get together in an attempt to break the world record for the largest gathering of people with one name. And according to the Guinness Book of World Records, the record is held by a town in Bosnia where in 2017, more than 2,325 people named Ivan got together. And who would have thought Ivan would be the one to set that record, but that's who did. So last year in Kyle, Texas, which is actually technically the fastest growing city in Texas.
When I first moved there, I guess, that's what they're saying. Like, yeah, it's like the fastest growing.
It's blowing up.
Place right now, yeah.
What would you say? It's like 30 minutes from Austin?
Yeah.
Technically,
30 minutes from like around here, yeah.
It's between Austin, Texas, and San Marcos, Texas,
yes,
which is where I went to Texas State University. Mm-hmm. So I'm very familiar with Kyle. I'd been a whole lot. As I've said in the past, I've eaten barbecue in Kyle several times. They had a couple of really good barbecue spots.
So I never went to any barbecue places when I lived
there. You should
have.
It's fucking great barbecue in Kyle. But anyway, the point is, Kyle used to be a very small town. Like when I was in college, Kyle was pretty minimal.
Yeah.
Like I remember when Kyle got like an HEB, and it was this huge deal. So it was like, whoa, Kyle. It was like very country, small town feel, and then suddenly it started to get bigger and bigger. And now it's the fastest growing city in Texas because Austin is so goddamn expensive that people are like, well, fuck it, I'll live in Kyle and commute in, and that's a lot more affordable. Or it was. I'm sure it's not now.
Probably not now.
Because so many people have done it that the prices there have gone up insanely too. Anyway, last year in Kyle, they had 1,490 Kyles, which is obviously, what is that, like 800 Kyles short?
Right.
Somewhere around there. I'm not a mathematician. So they weren't really close, is my point. And you and I had high hopes for the Kyles this year. We
did, yeah. No, well, I don't know how many years they've been doing it, but I feel like, each year.
At least a few years.
Yeah. You keep bumping up. You get the word out there more. More people. You expect more people to come.
More Kyles.
Year. Yeah.
You think more Kyles would feel motivated with every passing year as they get closer to the record. I certainly expected that they'd at least hit 2,000 Kyles this year. Maybe not the 23-25 that Ivan, set the bar at. Mm-hmm. But I thought surely they'll hit 2,000 Kyles. They were at 1,490 last year. There's a lot of Kyles out there, especially Kyles around my age. Because when I was a boy, I knew like 4 Kyles. They were fucking everywhere. It was like in the 90s, it had to have been one of the top names for white boys in the world. This year, 2024, a measly 706 Kyles showed up. Less than half of what they had last year, which is an absolutely pathetic showing.
It's a piss poor performance right there.
Kyle Nation.
That's terrible.
Unbelievable. I have no idea what happened here. I don't know. Maybe it was the weather.
No, it was so nice out.
Yeah.
On Saturday. I know you probably didn't even know.
I had no idea. Could have been snowing, and I wouldn't. It wouldn't.
Yeah,
have
no, it was really nice out Saturday. So like, I feel like that can't be like a reason why.
I just don't get it. I really don't get it, man. Like, I don't know how much I have to talk about the gathering of the Kyles on this podcast before enough Kyles wake the fuck up and get out to Kyle, Texas, and get this thing done. Because frankly, I feel attached to it now. I think we covered it the first year they did it, which was a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And I didn't think I'd just have to keep covering it every year, but now I feel obligated until they actually break the damn record held by Ivan. But you know what? Now I'm not sure the Kyles have it in them.
I don't think they can do it.
I don't know if you can come back for this.
No.
Come back from this. Like,
literally, you had half of the people you had last year.
How the fuck
Y'all
did you
even
go
close last year?
The wrong direction, man. Yeah, this is almost like a white flag from Kyle Nation. Like,
yeah.
They might need to stop. Take some time off.
Another name needs to take
Step
over.
up.
Yeah, and try to break that record.
It might need to be women. We might need to do like Sarah.
Yeah.
in Sarahtown or something, you know? Because,
Yeah.
like, this Kyle Nation is not getting it done pretty fucking clearly. And at the very least, they've got to take a year off. Don't do this again next year because they're going to just keep running the numbers down. Don't do it next year. Take some time off. Go back to the drawing board, Kyles. Come up with some real Kyle shit that can draw the other Kyles in. And maybe in a couple years you announce and there's hype around it again, you know? But if we just keep doing this, it's going to get really fucking... This is already really sad.
Yeah, it's going to get even more pathetic.
706?
Damn, that's terrible. And again, I think we talked about it last time, or maybe like the lead up to this year. Like, what is there to do at this gathering of the Kyles other than for them to just like get together? Like,
feels like they need to make sure they've got a real draw.
Yeah, you got to have other things to get the Kyles there, other than to just like, hey, we're all meeting together because we're named Kyle. You know, like,
I mean, it looks like there's some level of fun that goes on, but like you've been looking for, you know,
I'm
you can't really
like,
tell. You can't really tell. Like,
no,
what's
like,
going on out there.
I'm on like the City of Kyle website.
It's just a bunch of dudes wearing a shirt that says "I'm with Kyle" or something like that.
Or I guess it looks like they do have some things, probably just like food,
but not enough.
No.
Here's an idea. I'll give you one, Kyle Nation. One of you is a rich fucker. There's got to be at least one Kyle who's like a, you know,
like a billion. There's one Kyle billionaire,
a Kyle billionaire, or at least a couple hundred millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Throw down. Get fucking who's like a good. Get fucking Bad Bunny out there, dude.
There's not an artist named Kyle. There has to be an artist named Kyle.
That's a good point. Famous artist named Kyle. There's got to be a good Kyle they can pull out there.
I don't even know what this is.
Damn, there's really not. Kyle Lowry. Kyle Bush. Damn, are there no musicians named Kyle? Oh, Kyle Richard Glass is a member of Tenacious D. I guess he's the one that's not.
Is that the band with Jack Black?
Yeah, I guess it's Jack Black's brother, maybe.
Okay.
His last name's not Black. There are no Kyle musicians, dude.
No, that's sad.
Maybe that's part of the problem. Because they got to get anyway, Rich Kyle, you got to do something. Put together a big festival, something legit that draws the other Kyles out. You're a Kyle. You know what Kyle's like. Use your resources and put that shit in Kyle, Texas, so that we can do better. And I recommend taking this year off and really thinking it through because this is like really damning.
Yeah.
For Kyles.
So I think I found something. It looks like they have a fajita competition, a ribs competition, and then just like bands playing. And then like there's other stuff like I don't even know like what it is.
Fajitas and ribs, huh?
And a drone show at 8:45.
A drone show?
Yeah. It's exciting stuff.
Hey, Kyle Chandler is a good actor. He was in Friday Night Lights and Bloodline and you know.
Yeah, we just need to get like some famous Kyles to, you know, hype it up.
What was his name in Friday Night Lights? Coach
you're talking about the show or the movie?
Coach Eric Taylor?
I don't
Coach
watch
Taylor.
the show.
I didn't watch any of it.
You never watched the movie?
No.
Oh, the movie's fire.
I heard the show's fire. I just,
Yeah. All right.
it's too late for me.
Too late.
He's an FBI agent in Wolf of Wall Street. Kyle Chandler, get him out there. Rich Kyle. There's one. I gave you one. But fucking
okay,
dude.
yeah, I know Kyle.
Coach Taylor, dude.
Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Coach Taylor. But damn, there are very few famous Kyles when I spend time on Google here. This is actually pretty wild.
Yeah, the only other Kyle, like famous Kyle I know is Kyle Mooney from like SNL.
I guess there's not that many Rosses either.
No, not really.
Rick
Literally,
Ross.
like
he doesn't even
zero
count.
Cades out there.
Really?
Really, no famous
Both
Cades.
of our names lacking
I might be
in fame.
the most famous one, and that's not great.
Saying something.
I don't,
That's saying something. Yeah, I'm reading through a bunch of Rosses. I don't know who any of these fucking people are. And then Rick Ross is on the list, and Diana Ross, like neither of which count.
No.
Those are last names. Ross Perot is the most famous Ross I'm aware of.
I think, yeah.
He's a guy.
Looks like, well, yeah, Kyle Busch. You said Kyle Chandler, Kyle Lowry. Was a big
that's it,
one.
dude. That's it.
Kyle Korver.
They got to bring them all out. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kyle Korver's a good one. Get all them out there. They all got to go. Because if you don't have one good Kyle, you got to get several mediocre Kyles together to kind of combine them like a transformer.
Right.
And then see if that fucking gets it done.
Former Mega Kyle.
Yeah, dude, because this shit is sad. Oh, it also says Kyle is not a chart topper among popular names in the U.S. anymore, according to the Social Security Administration, which annually tracks the names given to girls and boys in each state. The most recent data showed Kyle ranked 416th among male names in 2023. And get this, by comparison, Ivan ranked 153. Ivan is over 200 slots ahead of Kyle now in the United States? That's fucking wild. I had no idea we had that many Ivans. I thought that was like a Bosnian name.
Yeah, I thought it was a Bosnian name.
We just have a shit ton of people getting named Ivan now? That is bizarre.
Yeah, no, we gotta get a name in there, at least top 200. Like 416, that's crazy.
Falling the fuck off, dude. Oh my God. I'm so sorry to the Kyles that are listening that like had pride before this episode because like y'all should feel worse than I do right now. That's pathetic. Pathetic. Speaking of feeling stupid, though, I did a thing. I think I told y'all. I ordered the Kanye West the swim sock shoes.
Yeah, the Ninja socks.
The Ninja socks, the Scuba Steves, the YZY Pods. They're called.
Mm-hmm.
Look, they're $25. Okay. Back in February, specifically on February 15th, I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll throw $25 at this for content just to see how stupid this is. They're literally, well, I'll get to that. But like, those of you who are familiar, you know what I'm talking about. It's $25. I think it came down to like $40 total with shipping this order. And that's February 15th. You know, a month passes. It's March.
Yep.
Another month passes. It's April.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, where the fuck are these things? They still haven't showed up. Finally, I think beginning of last week, May 15th, that's 3 months later, right?
Yes.
The YZY Pods show up. First, I want to talk about the packaging. Typically, one of the things about Kanye's, sneaker experience, he has like very distinct labeling. Like it would come in like the box that Yeezys, when he was at Adidas, the box they would come in looked like way different than anything else you had. It was like this brown box, but it was like kind of clean, and then it had like the YZY, like Yeezy branding on it, the 3 stripes on it. Like it was kind of tight. It was minimalistic, but like way more high fashion than you would expect from like a sneaker brand. It was one of the things that set them apart, and that gave them so much success with the Yeezy line at Adidas. Then the shoes were very, very different from most traditional sneakers at the time, at least when he got started. There were high fashion lines doing sneakers that were a little bit more like Yeezy, but that's what he did. He basically brought high fashion footwear and put it into the Adidas shit and put it out for the masses. So like he really did change the sneaker game in a lot of ways. Anti-Semitic fucking weirdo that he is. I'm still not in on Kanye. I want to be very clear about that. I'm out. But the dude did change the sneaker game for over a decade.
Wait, so you're telling me Vultures didn't bring you back in on him?
No, I'm still out.
Well, maybe Vultures 2 will.
Maybe.
That comes out.
Is that even happening? Does anybody even care?
I
don't think anybody cares. I think, dude, honestly, the last gasp for relevancy was like him trying to get in on the Kendrick and Drake beef, and everybody just being like, please go sit down, old man.
Yeah, he tried to make it about him.
This has nothing to do with you, bro. Like, go fuck off somewhere. This is not about you. Anyway, the packaging for the YZY Pods was the most dirt-ass poor shit I've ever seen in my life, bro. It was like classic. You know when you order from Amazon?
Yeah.
Just like let's say like a random product. I'm trying to think of something like you know,
or allergy medicine.
Sure, or deodorant.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just some random fucking thing. It shows up in the most bootleg ass plastic wrapping job ever, right? Just the most basic Amazon packaging shit because it comes from like some third party, you know, factory or whatever. That's what this came in. It was just like a, you know, off-white beige fucked up bag. And I was like, okay. When I open this, surely there's like better branding inside. I open it and there's just like a black sack. No branding on that either.
Just a black sack, no YZY.
Nothing
on it.
But it's got like a tie on the top, I guess. So I untie it and I pull these out, which I guess I should take them off so I can show y'all. I've never taken them off before though, so this might be harder than I thought. I'm crammed up against a wall. Don't judge me. Okay, so they're fucking they're folded up and they're like this, okay?
Okay.
So it kind of looks tight at first because I'm like, oh shit. So I pull it out and it is literally a sock.
Yep, that's a sock
with pads on the bottom.
Yep.
And that's it. I mean, it is what I thought it was, but it's somehow dumber when you hold it in your hand in person, and you're just like, what in the fuck? Because look at this limp dick ass fucking shoe, man. Like, look at this thing, man. It needs a blue chew. It's a pathetic thing. Now that being said, and again, no branding on it anywhere. No made in the first iteration of them that he was selling for $200 said like made in Italy, and then I read that people were getting ones that said like made in China. When he lowered the price. These don't say made in anywhere. They don't even tell you. They're like too ashamed to even put that on the fucking thing.
I doubt that the first ones were made in Italy too. Like I feel like that's just
bullshit that you put on there.
Yeah.
Maybe. But anyway, they're really, really dumb. And like it just, you know, like Kade is wearing black socks right now. That's all he has on. We're essentially wearing the exact same thing.
I just don't have padding.
And yours are branded.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the Nike Dry Fit socks on.
Yours weren't made by a former great musician who caused a massive wave of anti-Semitism to sweep the United States after he started blaming Jewish doctors and lawyers for his own issues. Mine were. So yeah.
Well, they actually might have been made in the same place, though.
They might have. I'm wearing them for the first time today, though, and I'll tell you, they're not.
Are they? Is it comfy?
They're pretty comfy, but they're fucking like nobody. When's the last time you put on a pair of socks and went, God damn, these are really uncomfortable? Like it's hard. It's not hard to shop for socks, man. You get the right size, and essentially you're there. Which is one of the things about these that's really stupid.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to buy shoes, what do you expect? You expect to be able to put in your shoe size and order the exact size shoe you need.
Right.
There are
how did that...
3 sizes of YZY Pods.
Oh, okay.
You get a 1 or a 2 or a 3. That's it. These are a 2.
Okay. So that... What size shoe do you wear?
10.5.
Okay. So I'm assuming it's like
I think
range.
These are for like 10 to 12 or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like when you order socks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You don't go by shoe size specifically.
No.
There's a window you got to fit in. Anyway, so they're okay. I'll say that I've been walking around in them for a few hours. They are comfy, but like we said, like
I mean,
they better be comfy, bro.
I can't hear you walk. Like you're silent.
Like a ninja.
Yeah.
That I kind of like. You could definitely sneak up on somebody and do some damage with these, but like you're not getting a ton of support here.
No.
You couldn't do stuff.
Couldn't go for a run.
Hell no.
I feel like that, like the padding would just like fall off, like not even a mile
There's no
in.
way. Also, ironically, I'm wearing socks under them.
Why?
I don't think you can wash them. So if I don't wear socks, they're just going to reek like shit in like 2 weeks. And then what?
Yeah. That's a
I'm
problem.
gonna hand wash these $25 ninja slippers. I don't think so, Kade. But so I got that going on today too.
That
I don't know, man.
we need to stop you from buying more Yeezy
I think
products.
I'm done. I think I'm done.
The YZY Pods.
Hey,
and
ad salesman Dan ordered these too.
That is true.
It's not just me. I'm not the only psycho at this company.
God.
I was shocked.
Half the employees here at Bowling Media
Yes.
have bought the YZY Pods.
I was shocked when ad salesman Dan was like, "Oh yeah, I've got a pair coming too." I was like, "What the fuck?"
It'll surprise you from time to time.
Yeah, but this is like, I didn't think there were that many dudes left in this weird tier where I'm at, where I'm like, this is kind of funny, but also I'm sort of interested to see if these are super comfy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the irony also being I ordered them in February when it was still quite cool outside. It is hot as balls now. You can't wear these with shorts.
Especially when you got socks on underneath.
You can't wear these with shorts, Kade. These are pants shoes. So, I'm gonna have to.
They're not even shoes.
They're not. I'm gonna have to crumple these up, put them back in the little, piece of shit bag they gave me to store them in, and then try to remember that I have them next winter, when hopefully no one can. Because the other thing is, like, you're walking around in the. I was trying to kind of sneak out of my house.
You got the
with these on.
Right footwear for that.
Because I didn't want my wife to see them and judge me. This never happens. We were leaving at the exact same time, but I'm like, oh, fuck it. Maybe she won't look down. We get into the garage and she's like, what is on your feet?
Wait, did you tell her that you bought them?
I think she heard me talk about it on the show.
Okay.
And so I kind of had to.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, these are those $25 Kanye West socks that I told you I got. They finally showed up. And she was just like, are they at least comfortable? And I was like, yeah, no, they're great. They're great. They're not great, though.
If you say they're great one more time, I'll believe you.
They're just okay. They're okay. For $25, they're okay.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know what you expected to. I don't feel like you could really walk around like downtown in these for like, a while.
I mean, without being called an idiot, no, probably not.
Well, that's coming with the territory at this point. I'm just.
God, I really hope I see someone in like the YZY Pods while I'm out. Like, I just get
at the
great
bar.
Laugh. Yeah, I get a great laugh out of that.
It's like driving a Cybertruck.
Yeah,
you might feel cool, but everybody else is laughing at you.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I remember probably the most I've ever paid for socks are like the Nike Elites back in the day.
Oh yeah,
those were I don't know, $15 for one pair, and those look so much cooler than what you have on your feet right now.
Yeah. Generic ninja
and they come in
slippers.
different colors too. They're just black.
Yeah. Size 2.
Size 2.
Fucking size 2.
Oh man.
Anyway, I'm not going to be able to put that one back on during the
probably
show,
just
so now I just have one on, which is even stupider. Thank God nobody can see my feet with our cameras. Moving on. Today's episode is brought to you by Shopify. Chappelle and Neil, Key and Peele, Faye and Polar, Setup and Punchline. So what about you and the perfect duo when it comes to growing your business? That's you and Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify is there to help you grow, whether you're selling merchandise for your podcast or handmade kaleidoscopes or silly ninja slippers. Shopify simplifies selling online and in person so you can focus on successfully growing your business. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, up to 36% better compared to other leading commerce platforms. And sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Selling merchandise for our podcasts here at Bowling Media, it's obviously an important part of what we do. We want our fans and supporters to have shirts and hats and coffee mugs and maybe even a puzzle that, they can show their support for Bowling Media and our shows. Shopify can be the platform that enables you to connect with your supporters in the same way. I have used the platform extensively. Shopify is pretty amazing. It's very straightforward. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's extensive help resources are there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/RBP, all lowercase. Shopify.com/RBP. Go now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Again, that's Shopify.com/RBP.
Grab your light. This is Stuff the Wikipedia when you're high.
Stuff the Wikipedia when you're high.
All right, got my shoe back on. I did it during the Stuff to Wikipedia when you're high music, man. Fuck yeah. Okay, see, it only takes like 10 seconds, Kade. Totally normal behavior. Everyone stop judging me. All right. Even fucking Bruce is looking at me like, what are those, dude? Do you remember that trend? What are those?
Oh, yeah.
That should be brought back just for these dumbass shoes. All right, today's Stuff to Wikipedia when you're high is British Airways Flight 5390.
Just another reason to be afraid of flying.
It is. This is going to be one that, dude, Kate, have you seen the photos of this?
No, I haven't.
You got to Google it right
Okay.
now. British Airways Flight 5390, just so you can see the insanity while I'm reading. British Airways Flight 5390 was a flight from Birmingham Airport in England for Malaga Airport in Spain. Just wait, Kade. On June 10th, 1990, the BAC 111 528FL suffered an explosive decompression. So while the plane was flying over Didcot, Oxfordshire, an improperly installed windscreen panel separated from its frame, causing the captain of the airplane to be partially ejected from the aircraft. And you're like, what do you mean partially ejected? We'll get to that. But he was held in place through the window frame for 20 minutes until the first officer landed at Southampton Airport. So the captain is 42-year-old Timothy Lancaster. He had logged 11,050 flight hours, including 1,075 hours on this exact plane, the BAC 111. The co-pilot was 39-year-old Alistair Atchison, with 7,500 flight hours, with 1,100 of them being on the BAC 111. So these guys are extremely experienced pilots. Aircraft also carried 4 cabin crew and 81 passengers. So at some point during this flight, one of the flight attendants, Nigel Ogden, was entering the cockpit when a loud bang occurs and the cabin quickly fills with condensation. The left windscreen panel, which it turns out just means the literal fucking front window of the plane, right? Like
Right,
one
yeah.
of the 3 up there, on Lancaster's side of the flight deck, separates from the forward fuselage. Lancaster is propelled out of his seat by the rushing air from the decompression and forced headfirst out of the flight deck. His knees get caught on the flight controls and his upper torso remains outside of the aircraft, exposed to extreme wind and cold. And that's where, if you've got the pictures pulled up, you can see this fucking guy is like fully out of this window, bro.
He looks like, like when you're in a limo and like they had like the roof open.
The sunroof, yeah.
And like you put your hand, like you stick your head down and like put your hands up. He looks like that.
So this dude is holding him for dear. Like basically, at one point, his legs are the only thing in the airplane, and there's another guy having to hold on to his legs to make sure he doesn't fully fly the fuck out and die. That's the situation, right? He's out the goddamn window.
Dude, the dude that's like, he looks so stressed.
The co-pilot's face looks, dude.
He
I mean,
had to lock it. He really had to lock it.
Nobody's ever been more locked in than that dude. So, okay, it says the autopilot disengaged, causing the plane to descend rapidly. So not only is he hanging out the window, then the plane is just like going down. This poor fuck. Imagine being one of the fucking passengers. Hey, what's going on up there? All it would take for me, all it would take is one flight where this happens, and I'm never going on a plane ever again. How could you possibly recover? So Kate is crying. So it says, the flight deck door was blown inward onto the control console, blocking the throttle control, causing the aircraft to gain speed as it descended. So now it's going faster, aimed at the ground, pilot hanging out the window. Flight documents and checklists are blown out of the cockpit. Debris is flying into the passenger cabin. People are back there like on their fucking phones or whatever. I guess it was what, 1990. So what year was this? I lost the year.
1990, June 10th,
1990. So no cell phones yet, but they're back there reading the paper and shit, and all of a sudden just all hell breaks loose. It says you recovered.
Good, yeah.
It says the plane, oh God, it gets worse. The plane was not equipped with oxygen for everyone on board, so Atchison began a rapid emergency descent to reach an altitude with sufficient air pressure. Because as you know, way the fuck up there, one of the issues is there's not enough oxygen, and you need it. The humans, we have to breathe that. So the plane...
How does that, like, how do you not have enough oxygen for everyone? I feel like, it's not this hasn't happened, but like, I've been on flights where like, they're like, oh, we can't accept all your bags, like, or like, what is it? Like carry on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, how do you guys not have enough room for all that? Like, you guys are built to be at full capacity.
And this is the whole point of your entire company?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw a joke the other day that was like, I can't remember the exact meme, but it was like airlines seeing that the plane is full and everyone brought a bag. Oh, shit. Like, they just totally didn't expect, like, people traveling all have
a bag to take on the plane with them. And no, not enough oxygen for a full flight of people.
I'm assuming it's a math thing.
Yeah.
Like them cheaping out as hard as possible. Just like, we'll always plan on a few people not bringing a bag and make these planes just a little bit smaller so it doesn't cost more money. Anyway, there wasn't enough oxygen for everyone on board, so the guy's like, oh, fuck, we got to descend faster. He re-engages the autopilot and broadcasts a distress call, but he's unable to hear the response from air traffic control because wind noise. And the difficulty in establishing two-way communication led to a delay in initiation of emergency procedures. So as this is happening, again, the captain is just hanging out the window. They're doing like 300 miles an hour. His face is just, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking over for this dude. Ogden, who's still holding on to Lancaster, so this guy's grabbing his legs. The only thing keeping Lancaster alive is this dude not letting go. And he's getting exhausted. So then Chief Steward John Heward, which rhymes, and flight attendant Simon Rogers took over the task of holding onto the captain. So now you got like one guy on each leg. By this time, Lancaster had shifted several centimeters farther outside, and his head was repeatedly striking the side of the fuselage. So he's just banging his over and over. The crew believes he's dead, but Atchison told me... I love this, because they're probably like, I'm getting fucking tired. They're like, he's probably dead anyway. Can't we just let him go?
Right?
Unbelievable. But Atchison told the others to continue holding on to him out of fear that letting go of him might cause him to strike the left wing engine or horizontal stabilizer, potentially damaging it. So they're not concerned over his life or his person.
They're concerned about...
They don't want to fuck up the plane any further, and then everybody else die, which just makes it even shittier for the captain. Eventually, Atchison was able to hear the clearance from air traffic control to make an emergency landing at Southampton Airport. The flight attendants managed to free Lancaster's ankles from the flight controls while still keeping hold of him. And then at 8:55 local time, the aircraft landed at Southampton, and the passengers disembarked using boarding steps. This Lancaster, the captain, he survived. This dude lived, but he got frostbite from like the freezing ass air just blowing his face. Bruising, shock, obviously, fractures to his right arm, left thumb, and right wrist, so broken bones. Frostbite in his face, a dislocated shoulder. He later suffered from PTSD.
Yeah, no, that would probably do it.
And there were no other injuries. One of the things I wanted to know that I couldn't find is if he ever flew again.
That was my question, yeah. I feel like you have to switch careers after that.
Oh, it says Lancaster returned to work after less than 5 months. Damn.
Whew.
And then he left British Airways in 2023 and flew with EasyJet until he retired from commercial piloting in 2008. So, hey, good for him, man. Good for him. Although... several people, it seems, got PTSD from this. Ogden, one of the guys who held him, also subsequently suffered from PTSD and retired in 2001 on the grounds of ill health. And as of 2005, he was working as a night watchman at the Salvation Army Hospital.
These pictures are so good.
The pictures are fantastic if you haven't seen them. It's just insane. Oh, First Officer Alistair Atchison and cabin crew members Susan Gibbons and Nigel Ogden were awarded the Queen's Commendation for Valuable Service in the Air. Ogden's name was erroneously omitted from the published supplement. Atchison was also awarded a 1992 Polaris Award for Outstanding Airmanship. Yeah, it's a fucking miracle that guy survived.
Do pilots wear seatbelts?
Yes.
So
I
like
think
what
it's-
happened with
They had hit
him?
they had hit cruise control or hit autopilot.
Oh, okay.
They're like we're
we're
good,
good.
and like popped off their seatbelts, and then the window blew out. Terrible luck. Anyway, that's our stuff to Wikipedia when you're high for today. British Airways Flight 5390, and again, I could not more highly recommend typing that into Google and checking out Google Images because there's like one of the guy in bed afterward when he's like recovering in the hospital with like the whole crew.
Yeah.
All the people that saved his fucking life. And yeah.
Yeah. He got fucked up pretty good.
Yeah, dude. That'll do it. I mean, that'll... Oh my God. Did you see like this one, dude? Like he's he's fucking out there. He's outside, kid.
He's outside. We outside. Oh my.
Oh, fuck. That was a good one. All right. Well, that'll do it for today's show. But Kade and I will be back later this week on patreon.com/Ross Bolin Podcast for another ad-free premium episode of all new content available exclusively on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Ross Bolin Podcast now and sign up for a 7-day free trial where you can check out the hundreds of exclusive ad-free episodes we have published there over the last several years. Enjoy that 7-day free trial, then stick around to support our show and be a part of making sure our show can go on. Also, please support our sponsors by hitting the links in the description of this episode and using our dedicated codes. That's how we pay the bills here at Bolin Media. You can find links to all of today's sponsors for today's episode in the description below. To check out our other shows, go to bolinmedia.com. We got Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, where this week we're talking Challengers. Little sexy Zendaya tennis movie, Kade.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm stoked to discuss this one. Actually, you and I can probably talk about it a little on Patreon this week now that I've seen it, because it was something.
It was something.
It was something. And of course, in less than a month, Season 2 of House of the Dragon starts on Max, HBO. We will be covering it episodically on Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, which we would hope would be your go-to companion podcast for all things House of the Dragon. If you're a Houston sports fan, check out Banging the Can, hosted by me. And if you're an F1 fan, check out Formula Bone. Another good race this weekend, Kade. Did you watch?
Yeah, I caught the very end of it.
That was the best part.
Right, yeah.
Really came down to the wire there.
It really did.
What was the dude's name?
Lando Norris.
So Lando won last week.
Yes.
And then this week, he was right on Verstappen's ass.
Yeah, he came within a second. Like, if he had one more lap, he probably could have gotten him, I think. But,
Well, Verstappen was running out of battery.
Yeah, battery was low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good race, though. Jared J-Bone Borislow will be giving you all the latest. What was that? Where were they? Italy?
Imola.
Imola?
Which I don't know where that is, but that's
I think
like
it's in
the
Italy.
race. Yeah.
The Italian Grand Prix is what I'll call it. I don't think that's what it's called. But J-Bone will be doing his recap and a preview for the next race on Formula Bone. Go to youtube.com/@FormulaBone and subscribe. You can follow me, Ross Bolin, on Twitter and Instagram @WRBolin. Mr. Orris, where can the people follow you?
You can follow me on all the social media platforms @Kade Orris. That's KADEORRIS.
This episode of the Ross Bolin Podcast is presented by Bolin Media, and video of today's show was produced by Kade Orris. Go to youtube.com/@the Ross Bolin Podcast and subscribe for full video of our show. Until next time, remember, you are not alone. Peace be with you, and also with you.